Cheers, everybody. Welcome. What's up, my witches? Test 1 2 1 2. How do we sound? Let's see here. Hello, hello. Oh, wait. You didn't hear the drums at all. There we go. Whoopsie. I faded them out last week and I didn't fade back up again. Oh, goodness. Well, I'm going to have a little bit more ginger ale and catch up with messages because y'all are chatty tonight. Welcome to you all. Hi, Darcy. Hi, honey. I got your message. Running around like crazy this afternoon. Indeed, our Grove. Hi, Tavia. Welcome, sweetie. Yes, hit the like button. Thank you. Looky there. 11 people, 7 likes. Yay. 4 more. Jump in. Like. Thank you, Tavia, sweetie. Cyber Spice Cake. Hi, Sammy, sweetie. How are you? Folding laundry while we wait. I stuck mine in the closet. I will fold it afterwards. Tickles. Hi, Roxanne. Welcome. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Ellen Marie. How many holes have to be in the washcloth before you toss it? That is entirely personal preference, my love. All right. What brought that up, by the way? Oh, you're folding laundry. That's fine. I know. I finally, in the last year, I guess, bought like new good washcloths, and still my son would not let me throw away some of the less janky of the old janky ones because he uses them for certain things, and for if he's doing hair color and they're doing makeup and stuff, those are the washcloths that you can mess up. 13 holes. Chuggles, not troubles. Well, there's a theme for tonight. Yes, here we go. Thank you, darlings. Let me tell you, we have been living in a cloud here in Northeast Ohio for at least the last month. It is so humid. It is so gray. Today it got even grayer, and it finally rained. We've just been living in a cloud. The water's just hanging in the air and not actually raining. So we saw the sky today. I saw blue sky, and I had to run to the store, and I saw the moon. We did not see the moon for the entire month of December. So I saw her. She's going to be full on Friday night at 6:08 p.m. in the Eastern Time Zone. Yes, Chuckles, not troubles. I think so, Samantha. I absolutely think you should put that on a shirt. I have some cool things to show you. Let me move out of the way because I want to show them to you on the overhead cam, but I have to show you what I've been doing. This was my first, I bezeled some gems for my daughter, or some cabochon, crystal cabochons. So here's the first one I did for me of my moonstone, and I did it in crystal beads so they're entirely clear, and you go from size 11s. Come on, pop in. See, there you go. From the size 11s to these size 15s that are so teeny tiny. And the experience when I got towards the end, there were so many mistakes and things, and I kept taking it apart and putting it back together, and it kept fucking up. So I may do this one again, but with beads that are that small and clear, it was like sewing air. So, but then I did this one last night and this morning. Come on, focus. There we go. So that's another moonstone, as you can see. The little crystal white ones around the edge are crystal clear ones. So fun, big fun. And it doesn't take me that long to do them, but boy, they take some doing. Okay, that was interesting. My browser over here just totally went away for a hot second, and then it came back. So Mercury's retro. Ingrid, my love, you who are in charge of all my physical, all the physical stuff. Lloyd, who's watching the wires, and my samurai, who's energy, and Jessica, water. Please help us get through tonight without any technological hang-ups. Um, oh yeah, and nobody would see the imperfections except me. You know, I just have to decide whether it's bugging me enough. And you know, I part of me wants to have a go again, but of course, you know, I started with this cab, which is this thick, and the back side of it is very squared off, and the front side is round. And I thought, ooh, that one will be easy because of the straight sides like this. No, that's what made it harder, actually. So to do one that is more, you know, narrower and stuff. Hi, Brett. Laura, you made it. Yay. Uh-oh. All right, Laura, honey, do not worry, because I want to tell you that one of the decks I'm using tonight is a gift from Laura, because she sent me a wonderful gift on Christmas Day, and I bought a great deck that I have not done an unboxing of yet. I haven't even looked through it yet. So I thought we're just going to swing in with this. It's got the gift energy, and I'm very excited to see what happens here. Oh, hi, Beck. All right, wait a minute. I got to go back for messages. Foggy and misty. Yeah, it was 60 degrees when I went to the store at 5 o'clock. Sun, I know. It just doesn't exist. Thank you, Beck. I'm so glad. Anytime you pop in and say hi, honey, it's worth it. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'm. Oh, here's the other thing I want to show you. This is a Christmas present from my husband. But looky what's inside. Look at all those. These are stacked over here, so there's lots more underneath. And then we got all of these, and yum, 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 yum. And my husband got me this fabulous light magnifier. It's a magnifier. It's a light. Yeah. So it is now so much easier, and it's such a better magnifier than the one I was using. So much easier to sit and bead without problems. Okay. Use of technology in shamanism. I say everybody does things the way they do their thing. I'm not here to judge the way anybody else does a thing. So that's my take on that. I mean, we're living in a technological age. I think one of the things that I have said for many, many years is a good witch can make anything work. And why would we not make everything work for us? You know, so my personal philosophy is I can use anything you hand me. I can make anything a tool for magic. And that includes technology. Witness. Okay. I hope that answers you, Brett. Yeah, I'm not into witch wars. I don't like judging the way people practice their magic. I mean, I know I may be going, oh, you know, I don't do it but that has quieted down so much in my cronehood, because it's like witchness is just blossoming in my kids' generation, and I am all for it. Okay. Yep, technology is like any other tool. That's right. Yes, it is a perfect container. And I had planned on it. George, well, I went through phases, but George was my severe crush. Yes, absolutely. Between Ringo and Paul. I mean, I thought that Paul was my favorite, but that's when I didn't know whose voice was whose. And I realized then it was John's voice that I was really attracted to, but Paul's face. But George is the scorpionic package there. Okay. So, let's do a grounding. Let me move this over here first, though. So while you're sitting there, let's just kind of do this all at the same time. While you're sitting there, bring your attention down into your body. Feel your skin. Feel all your skin. Do you notice the shift when you do that? And what that does as well, I mean, it pulls you down out of your head, but it also makes you aware of your antenna. I offer you this sacred smoke by air and fire. May we be purified and charged. By water and earth. May we be blessed and made whole. So as you're sitting there feeling your skin, put your attention on the base of your spine, on your root chakra, which is actually not the base of the spine, but just in front of it. And put a root down into the earth. And you don't even have to put a root down, just notice it. Notice that it's there. Because it's not like when you're not thinking about it, the connection goes away. It can't. So acknowledge your connection with the earth that's there all the time. And as you acknowledge that root, kind of expand it so it's nice and wide. You know, no wider than your root chakra, but, you know, make it a big one because we're going to drain. So the first thing, just acknowledge anywhere in your body that there's strain, stress, pain, fatigue, itches, twitches, sweats, chills. If that's the case, you should maybe go to a doctor. But just notice and let everything that you don't need in this moment drain, drain, drain. And you can feel it like when you're in the tub, if you're lying in a tub and you open the drain before you get out of the tub, and you can feel the water kind of dragging on you. Just kind of feel that drag as the gravity pulls your extraneous out of you. And then let's pull up some earth energy. Feel it rush into your body. Rush and swirl. And rush and swirl. Sorry, I'm feeling ornery tonight. Feel it fill up your body, let your breath out, and breathe in and turn up the volume. Fill yourself up with earth energy. Release the breath. Once more. Release just the breath. And once more. Breathe it out the crown. And let it form a nice big sphere or an egg around you. Just see what it does. Put yourself in observe mode rather than direct mode. And let it come down all around you. Notice that there are no holes, no thin spots, no dull spots or dim spots. It's very alive. It's very light. It's very moving. It's very transparent, yet it has substance, and let it come down and touch the ground under your feet and sink down to hug that root. And now reaching up to the almost full moon. See her beautiful face in the sky, and just see that beam of moonlight shining down into your crown. Feel it pouring down. Let's just work with the moonlight tonight. Golden white, blue white, pure moonlight pouring down into your body and joining with the earth energy. Feel it rushing all the way down into your legs, all the way down to your feet and your toes, all the way down through your arms to your fingers and the tips of your fingers. And just feel those flows up from the earth and out through the crown, and then down through the crown and into the earth, where when the moonlight comes down your root and it comes back up the outside. And let's invite spirit with a bell to clear our space and bring spirit in. And then let's say welcome to all of our guides and guardians, allies and ancestors. Thank you so much for being here today and every day. We welcome you with fresh water. We offer that and the fire of Azrael. Please accept these offerings and thank you for being here. I love my bell. All right, let's look at the decks we have, eh? First one is a gift from Roxanne. Whoops. The Herbal Astrology Oracle. I unboxed this last week, I think. That's number one. Then we have Cat's Eye Tarot, number two. And then this is the brand new one, the Wisdom Keepers Oracle Deck and Inner Guidebook. I can't wait. Look, just look, just look. Thank you so much, Laura. I mean, I have no idea how this deck reads or anything. I will review it this Friday. Then we have the Sacred Rose Tarot. So we've got old decks and new. Arthur Rackham's Fairy Oracle. And then Crow Tarot, which was a gift from Tavia. So gift decks galore here tonight. All right, I need more ginger ale. Yes, very, very, very yummy. Russian swirl, yeah. All right. Ow. Now, Astrodice. And we have hit the magic 13 watching right now. Yay, thank you. All right. Oh, mighty Astrodice. What do we need to know tonight on this nearly full moon night, this waxing Gemini moon night with a Mercury retro? What do we need to know? Thank you for stopping rolling. Oh, we have Mars in Leo in the 5th. So we've got this Leo 5 vibe. Leo is the 5th sign. It rules the 5th house in the flat wheel. So That's a big fun vibe. Fun, fun, fun. So Mars is action, action, passion, desire, want. You see the symbol of Mars, you guys? It's kind of a boner, right? That's Mars energy. Boing! And it's also that kind of boner energy of fighting someone, competition. Competition, fighting, just, Mars in Leo is about physical fun. Okay, Leo in the fifth house is about creativity, shining your light. We think about Leo being leadership, but fifth house is about fun, recreation, children. So that innocence, that childlike play. Imagine a lioness rolling around with her cubs, playing with her cubs and batting them around. It's playfulness, and it's creativity, and it's identity. It's shining your light. It's the fifth house is kind of like who you are outside of all those roles. Who am I just in pure fun, my pure soul expression. So we're talking about getting very passionate and not aggressive so much, but active, just active in our creative expression, in the fun that we have. And, fun with a purpose. I was talking about a chart to someone, and there was Saturn in the fifth house, and I was talking about structured fun, having structured fun. This would be having go, go, go fun, lots of active fun. 10th house south node. Hi, Stephanie. All right, I'm so glad you're here, darling. Thanks for bringing your energy. So yeah, I think just the vibe tonight, I don't have a whole lot to say about it because it's not heavy philosophical stuff. It's fun. It's play. It's, I'm going to do what I want and play how I want. And fuck you if you don't agree. That's the Mars energy. Come at me if you disagree. So yes, I am up for fun tonight. But it's also just really that Leo fifth house. You personally, what is the most fun for you? What creative pursuit, what creative thing do you do that just stokes your creative energy? We have things that we do. Yeah, sorry, I lied. I am going to talk more about it. We have things that we do that may be fun, but they drain our energy. Speaking as an INFJ, autistic, going out with a bunch of people or being in a crowd of people, even, friends and everything that I know it's going to be a good time. It's a good time and it's exhausting. I saw a meme the other day and it said a large group of humans is called a fuck that. And it's like, yes, that's me. So, but then there are things that you do that just kind of give back and give back and give back. Mother Drum was one of those things. Several days of going from morning to night to pull it together, to produce it, to pack up and put everything away. And I would be so energized when I would get home that night that I would have a hard time, coming down and sleeping. So we're talking about the creative things that feed you, feed your soul. Because Leo isn't really about ego, although many Leos have big egos. It's about the soul part of you, your true identity, your true face. And so we're looking at fun and creative things that are like, what do they call it? A perpetual motion machine. The energy that's going out into these creative pursuits feeds you to such a level that it just keeps turning and turning. And it's, positive all the way. So Okay. So let's play. And tonight, I spent so little time thinking about these decks. I knew I wanted to use Herbal Astrology. I knew I wanted to use Wisdom Keepers. Other than that, it was just like, grab, grab, grab. So, bye back. Have a great meeting, honey. Inspiration, fire, absolutely. Well, creativity and inspiration go hand in hand, yes. So to be creative, where does the creative energy come from? It's inspiration. It's things um, that push us into action. The things that's like the fire in the belly. That little itch that I got to scratch. So, all right. What are you going to tell us? Who's up first to talk to us about fun and creativity? We have a 5, and that is Rackham's Fairies. This is that deck that kind of surprised me at how it pulled no punches. Let's give it 3. And I edged this deck in bronze. Copper, bronze, whatever they want to call it. All right. Oh, it wants an offering. Have an offering, my love. And the rest of you, too. All right. Offering accepted. Itty bitty die, the tiny, tiny die. Okay. We've got 2. We'll go for a 3rd. All right, now I have to look these up because I don't have them memorized. And I have to kind of look at the camera because there's a glare. All right. Oh. So the first one is enticement. And I'm going to hold this up because this is Arthur Rackham and a wonderful illustrator. See, sorry about the glare. Let me see if I do it that way. It's a little bit better. Just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous artwork. And the coloring and sort of the dusky palette of this deck is very much in line with what it's been like out there. Gray and brown, lots of gray and brown. Okay. A young man wearing a brim hat leans out towards a maiden crouched against a tree. She appears fearful, shying away from him. 2 fairy maidens hold the young man's arms, attempting to sway him over to their desires. Okay, 2 fairy maidens hold his arms, so they're pulling on him there. There is a subtle seduction at play here, meaning if you receive this card, you're being encouraged to leave behind the familiar, moving on to the world of something more. What is drawing you to that new realm? Embrace the change, the chance to do something new. So the fact that he's got fairy maids pulling on him, that's kind of like looking at inspiration and just the key word, enticement. What is it that really gets our interest? That's enticing. What does enticing mean to you? What does it mean? It's something that gets an appetite going, whether that's, something to eat or it's something that draws you into something bigger, as they were saying, something more. So we have enticement, and then we have demise. A hole from the surface causes unsuspecting fairies to tumble down onto the hard, dark surface below. It's really difficult to see. Okay. One-horned Pan is just now understanding his predicament. Without a secure route to head out, the fairies must band together or face their demise, just like the skeletons surrounding them. Ooh. The meaning is another cautionary card. Demise warns you to watch your step. Be careful, be mindful of your surroundings, otherwise you might meet your downfall. So, the enticements, sometimes they can be so enticing that you lose sight of what's around you. You get focused. This is Mars. I want that, and I'm going for it. You know, I will bust my way through to get to it. Is Mars energy. It can be it's an arrow for sure. So it's there. That's where I want to go. You know, as the ruler of Aries, it's exploration, pioneering, go go go. Yeah. So when the enticement happens, we need to make sure that we are engaging our brains and not just following the passion, because that can lead to a downfall and a demise. So we can't, you know, sometimes, have you ever known somebody like this? The kind of person that is kind of like a revolving door for relationships because they just want that buzz of the new relationship. They want the, you know, oh, that first rush, and when it starts to settle in, it can't settle in because that's all they're after is that rush. So that's the danger here of just getting lost in the enticement, is that you don't watch where you're going, and that enticement, that first buzz, has to deteriorate. It has to go through demise at some point. It can't last. There has to be something more that deepens. All right, and this last one is enlightenment. Fair Helena stands in the reeds, the sun casting halos around her hair. She's the one who takes the time to think, to really understand what the nature of being human means. She desires the highest form of love and ends up rejecting anything that does not meet up to her expectations. As a result, she is alone, yet is surrounded by caring individuals. So this is kind of like the other side. This is the person that wants the lasting love, but is being so specific about what that must look like that they are, well, and also knows that they're after the highest iteration of that. And so they're not willing to settle for just a buzz. And so she's alone, but it's because she's waiting for the big one, you know? And here you can see her a little bit better here without the glare. All right. The meaning: if you have drawn this card, you're being asked to think about where you are going. Look to the higher sources to guide your inner compass. Allow epiphanies to come, realize the wisdom received, and acknowledge its origin. Okay. So instead of just following the enticement and sort of dropping everything when it goes through its natural demise, we can use the enticement to get into something, and then we take it deeper ourselves. We we don't even have to bring in spirit. Think of the word inspiration. Okay? Inspiration. And the word respiration. And the word aspiration, which can also mean a hope, and also, you know, breathing stuff into your lungs. But all of those have to do with breathing and the breath. And inspiration, I mean, think about spirit. It's drawing spirit in. The ancients knew that the soul came in with the breath and left with the breath. So when we are inspired, we are taking in spirit. You know, we are becoming spirit ourselves. And so this is talking about letting not just be an enticement for something that's going to be temporary and ephemeral and go through disappointment and having to let go. It's let's take the enticement up to the inspiration level. So let's invite spirit in on this. And, you know, pastimes can be fun just for fun's sake, but we can also work on multiple levels while we're having fun. Um, we can bring spirit in and become a channel and experience that kind of fun because hoo-wee, there's nothing better. Nothing better in my mind. All right, I think that's all those want to say to me. All right, look at the choices that tug at you, but if you're only finding choices that feel like, well, these are my only choices, I guess that's all I have to choose from. Stop and be open to the choices that tug. Yes. All right. Now, who's up next, Tiny Di? More ginger ale. All right. Who's next? Number 3. Sorry, hold on. Good grief. Everything is being very, very slow right now. Hold on. Okay. All right. Now, I always have to check and make sure there's not something going on that I really need to address. Okay. So number 3. Ooh, it's the Wisdom Keepers. All right, you guys. Oh, I'm so looking forward to this. Look at these. Look at these faces. They're so beautiful. All right, we're going to try a shuffle. But first, they want their own offering. And because this deck has not yet been blessed. Now, I certainly can't shuffle them end to end, so we'll go side to side. I think I can make that work. Yahoo! Yeah, they're huge. These are massive cards. So, let's just do this. I'm going to cut and pull so that I don't have to worry about shuffling too much. And then I'll get to put them all in order again so I can unbox them again. Yes, thank you. Please and thank you. Hit that like button. I appreciate it. All right. We've got 2 that have come out. And I'll take one more off the top. So the first card here is magnetism. That's kind of a Marsy thing. Because, you know, there's affection and attraction in the Venus way of someone's beautiful. You know, they're beautiful and you're just, taken with that. But then there's the Mars one, and that's the magnetism. That's the magnetic pull. That's the chemistry of, that's the sexual tension and buzz, you know? So, so the first one here is magnetism. All right. One of the great challenges for modern humanity is to learn how to slow down. How to slow down and play. And play like a Leo. The gift is magnetism. The shadow is dullness. And the siddhi is fluorescence. Programming partner is 10. Oh, I cannot wait to get a deeper look at this deck. Okay, there's a big wisdom story. And then there's a my gift to you. So let's read the gift. If a country girl like me can find magic in the dullest places, so can you. But I'm here to tell you that you mustn't fight the dullness, or it won't work. You have to lean into it. You have to embrace it with your whole entire self. You have to slow down. Not really a Mars thing, but I know it's hard. It may even feel scary, but if you do that long enough, without judging yourself for being lazy, you're very likely going to find yourself feeling pretty excited about life and with an irresistible magnetism gleaming out of your beautiful eyes, and you won't even need a reason for it. So what she's talking about here is being where you are, you know. The power place is acceptance in anything, because it puts you in the present moment, fully aware of everything around you, and everything becomes accessible to you in that moment. If you're, you know, constantly thinking about, so if you're in a place that's very dull and you're just thinking about how you don't want to be there, you don't have much access to this present moment. You're already throwing your consciousness out someplace else. So talking about being in whatever you are and finding the inspiration there. Slowing down. Okay. It's interesting. The message here is kind of about slowing down and getting excited about life. But the key word is magnetism. So magnetism is kind of the result of the slowing down and accepting things the way they are, the dullness. And, you know, this also, when you're talking about inspiration, those times when you feel dull and absolutely uninspired, one of the reasons for that can be that you're reaching for something out there, that there's something out there and I'm trying to get it and trying to, but you need to be in here, you know, to be where you are. And if you're trying to write a poem and it's like, you know, you want to write this great spiritually, you know, whatever poem, and you can't find that inspiration, well, how about writing about that lack of inspiration and what it feels like? Writing about what your body feels like right in that moment, what your mind feels like. Write about the struggle that's going on right then, rather than reaching for some lofty thing and, you know, not being with whatever's going on. And that's what shifts things. You know, that's the paradox, is as soon as you accept and go, okay, fine, I'll work with what I have here, then everything shifts, you get inspired, and then, as she says, the magnetism comes out of your eyes. Competence. Hooray for competence. So this lovely being says competence carries within it efficiency, enthusiasm, flair, and flexibility, the 4 keys to material success. So let's say those again. 4 keys to material success: efficiency, enthusiasm, flair, and flexibility. I love it. The gift here is competence, the shadow is compromise, and the siddhi is bounteousness. Let me look up the meaning of siddhi, because I can't come up with it. I can do a Sanskrit chant for you that has siddhi in it, but to tell you what that means on its own, I do not know. The gene keys. Gene keys. Okay, siddhi, when we have entered a pure state of expansion and have completely surrendered our sense of separateness into the whole, we have entered the realm of the siddhi. Okay. So it's about joining, connecting, being. Okay. So, the gift here, I am here to remind you of your dreams and to encourage you to take an honest look at your life. It is time to put the fire, Leo, Mars, back into your belly and stop making compromises. I just had those words come out of my mouth like, what, 5 minutes ago? Fire in the belly, right? Okay. Let's see. Stop making compromises. And what they're talking about you compromising is your dreams. The more you compromise, the more trapped you will become in a life that isn't even yours. Oh, wow. The more you try to please somebody else and you try to change yourself so that you will be appreciated, accepted, loved, fill in the blank, the more you do that, the farther away from your center you get. You were born to inherit a rich, fulfilling, and harmonious life and to experience competence. I see you cutting through obstacles, loving what you do, becoming a magnetic original, and adapting creatively to each new synchronistic opportunity that comes your way. Open to the bounteousness that awaits. That's, the words creativity and synchronicity and inspiration and the fire in the belly, it really is all about the things that pull you back to yourself and connect you with spirit, let you experience that without the barriers that are so often there. And it's so interesting that the meanings that you read in the book, competence is skill. It means the ability to do something. If you're competent at something, you're able to do it. At the most basic level, you're able to accomplish something. So, the skill to, okay, wait a minute here. Remind you of your dreams. Take an honest look at your life. Stop making compromises. The keywords are throwing me off here, So anyway, coming back to our dreams, stop compromising is the message here. And compromising, you think of a compromise, oh, well, it's, negotiating with someone so everyone gets some of what they want and need. But compromise, when you hear the word used like an investigation being compromised, it means it got adulterated somehow. It's not whole anymore. Something has, chipped away at it or invaded it or taken a piece of it or something like that. It's not a pure entity anymore. So not compromising or not being compromised. I'm thinking about a thing here that I used to say about being yourself, unapologetic and uncompromised and uncompromising, I think it was. So do not apologize for being who you are. Do not compromise who you are. All right, let's see the last one here, 32. What we have is preservation. As we listen to the great wisdom of our ancestors and of the indigenous tribal cultures, we will once again find our correct inner spirit. The gift is preservation. The shadow is failure. The siddhi is veneration. I see me working with one card, because these are all guides. You guys, that. Siddhi, Samantha, is spelled Siddhi. Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. The eyes are what did it for me. Just that you can spend time looking into their eyes. All right, this may not make sense, but it is true. When you refuse to receive, you're being selfish. You don't let that wheel turn. If you don't receive, somebody else can't give. If giving is so sacred, why are you robbing somebody of giving by refusing to receive? Receiving gracefully is a gift to the giver. Trying to push away When somebody's giving you a gift and you're like, no, 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 I don't know, I really don't want it, I really don't want it, that doesn't feel good to the person that's trying to gift you with something. I used to work with a woman that she would give me compliments and I would be like, yeah, but, I'd always poo-poo and, minimize and all that stuff. And she would just say, Lisa, smile and say thank you. So I learned, thank you, Shirley. And it took practice. It took practice. That refusal to receive comes from a place of low self-esteem. Think about that one for a while. Okay. So refusing to receive is you're being selfish. If you truly long to experience success, then you must let go of the entire concept of success and failure. It is not your desire for money or outer recognition that you need to overcome. It's your fear of failure. I'm here to encourage you to trust your instincts and reach beyond your comfort zone. The gift of preservation is all about preserving life itself, not just yourself. It requires that you learn from and ground yourself in the wisdom of your ancestors. It also asks you not to be afraid to learn and invest in something new or to receive from those who inspire you. It's time to look at your life and determine what and who you are worthy of your determine what and who are worthy of your energy and good for the whole. See what you want to keep alive and honor that with your whole heart. Okay, so the preservation here, yes, what is worthy of your energy? Again, it's talking about inspiration and being so grounding in wisdom, and that really is it. What is worthy of your time and energy? And letting that wheel turn too. If someone is approaching you and saying, you are worth my time and energy, I want to spend time with you, kind of being able to spend time with people like that. This also talks about preserving the wisdom of the ancestors. I have to say, I'm not getting like a cohesive thing. The messages seem to go in different places. If I look at magnetism, competence, and preservation, this is the attraction, what you attract to you. So making your insides a beautiful place to inhabit. And when you do that, you become very attractive and magnetic. You attract to you like things that are like what you are like inside. Competence is look to your skills. When we're talking about inspiration and creativity and what we want to create, you need to pay for that with time and energy in order to achieve competency at something. And when you have competency at something, that's hard to say, competency, it becomes more fun. It's more joyful. If you've ever started playing an instrument and you're still kind of like hacking away at it, and it's, you can get frustrated and everything, but finally when you start to really learn and gain a level of competency, then the joy comes in. But this is kind of the sacrifice that we make. And it's not really a sacrifice, it's just an exchange that we make for the joy that comes from the things we're inspired to do, is we pay the time and the energy and the intention and the love to become competent, to practice the skill. And that in turn preserves that discipline, When you can have a level of competency with something, maybe there are other people that can enjoy it as well. You're not the only one. You perform or you make gifts to give, and other people can enjoy your inspiration, and you spread that energy, and it preserves, That's a way of preserving it, is spreading it, handing it down, perpetuating it, right? Wow. I love these cards, and I can't wait to spend like intensive time with it. And I love how huge they are because it's easy to see. Look at these. They're huge. All right. Thank you. Thank you, darlings. We will give you the attention that you deserve on Friday. All right. Was that just like the second deck? Wow. Going to be here a while tonight. Okay, here comes number 4. this is the sacred rose. All right. Siddhi comes from, I think, Hinduism, but Buddhism certainly. There's a Tibetan chant of Om Ahung Benza Guru Penma Siddhi Hung. Hi, Natalie. Hi, honey. The fear of success. Oh, Darcy. My darling, yeah. Okay, wow. Something just came here. Hold on a second. I can't wait to pick up the Crow Tarot. I just saw something like dark go across here like a shadow. Didn't, you know, not a bad shadow, but just something go by. Ooh, they would make great stained glass instruments. Okay. Now, what do you have to tell us, Sacred Rose? This is probably going to be a 9 or 10 card. 9 cards always become 10 cards, so I call them 9 cards, but they're not. All right, those are coming on top. Although I want to grab the one who is presenting to me. If I can find him, we'll see. We have 3 of Cups. We have 9 of Wands. And we have 10 of Swords. Ooh. Boy. 9 of Wands in the middle is boundaries. It can talk about wounded, you know, in the Rider-Waite, there's the kind of bandage on the head. This guy is just holding the boundary. He's holding the fortress and the gate in a lot of strength. So this is talking about protection and healthy boundaries, keeping your creative expression protected. And here's the joy of 3 of Cups, joy and celebration. 10 of Swords on the other time talks about the painful ending, devastation, something going as getting as bad as it can get. All right, let's keep going. The Hanged Man, Knight of Cups, and the Queen of Swords. Ooh. All right, I'm putting all 9 down here. Then we have the 6 of Swords. We have the 9 of Pentacles. And we have the 7 of Pentacles. All right. So let's go to the Knight of Cups in the middle here. What do we have to offer? What is it that we want to offer the world? This is kind of a theme we've been looking at here, is inspiration. But what is it that you feel you have to offer the world? What is it that the world is waiting for? And, you know, I asked it particularly that way because we might not feel we have something worthy to offer the world. But you do. You're in it, so you have something worthy to offer. What is that thing? That's what the Knight of Cups is asking. What are you proposing here? What is it that you bring to the table? And so you need to be honest with yourself. And I mean, really, truly honest with yourself, and get out of your false, or your, what do I want to call it? Inferiority masquerading as humility. It's okay to revel in your own talents. It's okay to take joy in what you're good at and celebrate that and say, yeah, I'm good at this. That's not being egotistical. Um, you're being egotistical when you start saying, I'm better than everybody else at it. And, you know, when you start maybe comparing and cutting others down in comparison. Um, so, what do we have to offer? Three of Cups says, what do we take joy in? Nine of Wands says, what's worth protecting? And Ten of Swords. What are you willing to give up for it? What if you lost all the outside extraneous stuff? You know, we can say, well, I have this to offer, but it's maybe the things that we own, or, you know, if I have money, then I can offer this or something like that. But if you lost all those things, you yourself, what is it that you have to offer? How can you inspire? What inspires you, but how can you in turn inspire? And it's also, what do you have that can see you through times of loss and darkness? What is the light that is almost never dimmed? And how can you generate, I'm going off book here, how can you regenerate, and that preservation card, how can you preserve and build your bond with that thing? That light in you, that thing you need to express. So I want to tell you, first of all, here, that your creative expression, to really have fun with it, first of all, stop the comparisons. That one card talked about compromise, but I want to say stop the comparisons. You can look at what somebody else does and say, I would like to do that. But please do it in a realistic way, so you don't look at like a jazz improv player and you're just learning, you know, your scales, and then you say, I'll never get there, and you end up frustrated and quitting. So stop the comparisons. And, you know, when we talk about suffering and stuff, it's always great to have, or, you know, when we judge, that's what I'm going. It's Mercury retro, you guys, what the hell, I can't talk. But when you catch yourself judging somebody else, oh, that's really blah, 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 or judging a situation, blah, 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 ask yourself, compared to what? That's a good comparison, because it can help you realize that everything is relative, you know, when you start throwing out absolute judgments. But the thing I don't want you to compare is your worth to someone else's worth, and your gifts to someone else's gifts, and your competency, your level of expertise to someone else's, only to inspire. If you're comparing it to someone else's, it's because, okay, that's my next step. That's where I want to get to next, and you get yourself inspired and busy on how do I, what do I have to do to practice? What skill do I have to attain to get to that level? As long as that fire in your belly keeps burning, as soon as you start getting hit with that devastation and fuck it, I'm done, then you're putting out your own fire. You're comparing yourself, or you're doing something that is squashing and dampening your inspiration. Okay, so Hanged Man talks about sacrifice. Sacrifice. What are you willing to sacrifice? And is it, you know, the time that you're going to devote? Hanged Man is kind of a devotional card too, because he is in a meditative state. He is hanging out. He says, I am willing to endure this in order to. Right? And then we've got Queen of Swords here. So she talks about being really clear-headed and discerning about the steps that you need to take. She can also go into criticism too. So she's under this Ten of Swords, and she can be talking about when that critical voice rears up. So you see how these are kind of split here? When we come down to the bottom, we've got Six of Swords, which talks about, okay, here's the Hanged Man. What am I willing to offer? What am I willing to sacrifice? What am I willing to endure in order to get to that level, where I can manifest my inspiration? And Six of Swords talks about getting through those troubled times. And discipline is a key there. I am giving guitar lessons to a young person who is in sixth grade, I think. And my thing, the very first lesson, I said, okay, what do you want out of this? What do you want to get from this? And she was like, well, I don't know what you mean. And I said, well, do you want to be a lead guitar player in a rock band? Do you want to play classical guitar with the, Akron Symphony Orchestra? Do you want to play songs so you can sing to it and just have fun? She's like, yeah. So my thing is to help her stay inspired and to, kind of not crush it out of her. And it's been like, I'm not going to judge you for not practicing. You do what you can. But at the same time, I'm going to start throwing out challenges, because it's like, oh, I kind of forgot to practice this week. So, I might say, okay, well, I'll tell you what, you let me know when you're ready for your next lesson, because you've practiced some. You let me know. So I want to kind of throw out some challenges to get her to that place where she's willing to sacrifice. And, when we talk about what you're willing to go through and paying the price, of practice, practice is all I got to say. We tend to think that skills go like this. They start at one level, and then if we practice, it's just going to be in a steady incline going up, up, up. And that's not the way skill works. It goes like this, and then it goes like this, and then it goes like this. You make these leaps. And you'll just stay at this level. And the thing is, just keep at it. Don't let the success of it determine your determination. Don't let the fact that, I haven't attained this skill, instantly stop you from the discipline. Because once you just put yourself in the moment, like that other card talking about being in the moment, however dull, when you submit yourself to that, and that's it, give up, what did they say? Give up all hope of fruition. That's a Buddhist thing. Suddenly, you will pick up that instrument or that paintbrush or whatever and go, dang, wow, that's easier. It's kind of a suddenly thing. You pay, you practice, boom. Suddenly, the skill arrives. So that's what I wanted to say about that. Talks about just moving yourself through those difficult times and waters. 9 of Wands here, 9 of Pentacles down at the bottom in all her busty lustiness. So 9 of Pentacles is about solitary fulfillment. What feeds you? What makes you feel good? What is success on your terms? So we define success for ourselves then. And I think I might have been talking about this. I can't remember if I was talking about it on a live stream or not. But for instance, a successful musician. I used to date the brother of Chrissie Hynde from the Pretenders. And he is a jazz saxophonist and has been playing with the same band for 50 years. They're incredible and unique. They're called 156075, also known as the Numbers Band. And they've been playing around this Northeast Ohio area for 50 years. Now, some people look at Chrissie and go, she's the rock star, she's the success. But Terry has chosen, this is what I want to do, and if he's not successful after 50 years, yes, so you define success for yourself. Do not let society define it for you. Do not yet let other people define your success for you. All right. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles here. So the success, and this one's talking about assessing. Assessing. Okay, hold on a second. So if we get to those places where we're feeling like a failure, we're being hypercritical, you're not seeing success, so you're thinking, why bother? I'll never be, all this kind of stuff. Seven of Pentacles here says time to review. Time to look at not just where you are or how far you've gotten, but look at how you're going about it. How you're going about it. Because Knight of Cups in the middle says it's got to be something in the emotional realm. There's got to be something that engages your feelings and your emotions and your inspiration. So this kind of wandering here, I would say give up all hope of fruition. We've got the Hanged Man here saying just hang out, pay the price, give it the time. Make the practicing of something your joy. Boy, this is fun. I'm just going to sit. So I think the assignment I'm going to give my little guitar player in our lesson tomorrow is just to sit down with the instrument, forget about making chords, forget about, playing tablature, and just sit down with that instrument and make sounds with it until you can make a sound that you think is fun. Just try all these different things and I think that's what I'm going to do tomorrow, just to see what that, engages. So we define success for ourselves. I almost said sex. We define success for ourselves. We decide what we have to offer the world, and it's got to be something that brings us joy, that's worth celebrating, that we are willing to submit to the process, and we are going to put a boundary against these ideas of failure and that inner critical voice. And then let's see what our final is here. The Six of Wands. That's the victory card. Yeah, I'd say that's the road to success and victory. Okay, now I've seen messages going by, but I didn't want to stop the flow there. Okay. Oh, we have some new people. Boy, it's been busy. All right. Lakshmi. Hello, sunshine. Welcome. No, I do not read for people here. I just do general readings for the collective, and it's free. And Farida, hello. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. Thank you so much. Yep, hang out for a while, and this is it. There are many messages that come through here, and you claim what resonates for you. Farida, I do readings for the collective. Yep. Thank you. Hi, Atlas. Welcome. Inferiority is what it was, not just insecurity. Bigger. Inferiority masquerading as humility. If we can't be our own champions and if we can't celebrate our own gifts, what's it for? And we can also show some other people how to celebrate their gifts if we can celebrate ours just, in a wonderfully joyful way, in a way that lifts other people up and doesn't, cut them down. Sherry, hi, darling. I'm so glad you're here. All right. My fabulous sense of humor keeps me sane. Yes, it keeps me sane too, honey. Teach through storytelling and humor. Yes. The Zen Witch is a no judgment zone. Thank you, Dars. You got that right. Oh, I love you guys so much. All right, let's see. Cyberspice, apple cake. Mushy apples, they weren't mushy, but they were starting to get mushy. Yep. So you know what? This year when I did the pork and sauerkraut, usually I just slice an apple and I'll put it over the top of the roast and some of it goes in. This time I put 3 whole apples in. and, you know, just let them dissolve into, oh, it was so good. So, so good. So I will do that forevermore. Hell yeah. Apple spice cake. Put walnuts in. Yeah, baby. Why wouldn't you? I remember I used to make apple muffins all the time when I was in high school. Cinnamon tea. Oh, Gene Simmons. Constant comment tea. How did I saw cinnamon in there with common and Simmons and you dated Gene Simmons' cousin. Oh my God. I can't wait to hear that story for another time. Need to define sex for ourselves as well. Absolutely. And gender. Okay. Yes, hit the like button. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Um, oh, you're very welcome, Atlas. I enjoy, you know, I love when people comment on videos because I like to engage and I just like to, you know, feel connected. I appreciate you. Okay. Oh, Atlas. Thank you. I'm so glad. Hi, Joe. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad everybody's here. Okay, let's put the sacred rose away. And yes, if you notice, tonight is really free form. You know, Mercury's retro, the hell with structure. And we still, that was only, what, the third? Oh, damn. Oh, that was 4. We just did 4. Okay, who's up next? Who's up next? Oh, tiny die. So who's new here? You see my tiny die? And we did that. And we did that. And we did, then there's 1. Yes, the dice was going. I already showed you a 1. So here's the herbal astrology deck. So what do you guys think of the how we've leapt into the new year politically here in the U.S.? I think it's absolutely hilarious that these Republicans that were so anxious to take over the House, you wait, they cannot get their shit together. They are eating themselves alive. Auto cannibalism. It's amazing. It's amazing. They're not going to get shit done, and will finally, may it be so, be seen for the obstructionist takers that they are. All right. Now, you bought a whole tube of those tiny dice, Samantha. That's amazing. All right. Oh, looky. We have 3 cards. No, we have 4 cards. That was a magic trick. Okay. Oh, we brought 5 cards. Look, it's it's magic. All right. So let's see what this deck has to tell us. I'm just going to do it like this. That sounds like fun. And we're going to turn this one over first. Elder is wisdom. Indeed it is. Let's just turn them all over. Ginkgo is breakthrough. Cannabis is detachment. That's interesting. Cannabis like connects me. Cordyceps is revival, and horsetail is patience. Okay, so just going on intuition here. We have the subject here of wisdom. We have Jupiter and Pluto. Jupiter that is freshly into Aries and ruled by Mars, consequently ruled by a retrograde Mars. So let's talk about our wisdom, the wisdom we hold. No matter how young you are, you have wisdom. And there's a dance that I lead about Kwanjam Bosai, and she is the goddess of compassion, a bodhisattva of compassion. And there's a part of the dance where you hold your hand at your heart like it's a cup, and as you're walking around the circle, you're taking something out of the cup and putting it into the center of the circle. And what you're taking out is your wisdom. It's like rose petals, your wisdom petals. Where these wisdom petals come from is your own life experience. So, all of the things that you've been through in your life, if you've taken the time to absorb, to sit with them until they give up their wisdom, until the realization comes, until the lesson comes, those are your pearls of wisdom. And you know them infallibly because you've lived them. You know, studying under somebody else is great, but if your wisdom is just something that you're parroting back from the things that you read, um, it's great if they resonate for you, if you know what they mean, but it's no substitute for your own wisdom, because that is where your authenticity is. And most of the time, the wisdom that we reference in, other sources is just an echo of what we already know. It's somebody stating it a different way. It's somebody stating it in a way that makes me go, and, learn something new, be inspired by something new. So wisdom can lead to breakthrough. And so I'm going to go back to that wisdom petals thing. And when we're talking about playing and creating and being inspired, journaling, writing poetry, drawing around an event that happened, and not trying to, relay the wisdom of it, but just relating the event to someone in its authenticity and in its feelings, and, in a personal way. In a personal way is what brings the breakthrough. I got a Beatles story. If you watched Get Back and you could see the songs that they were creating, there are two songs there. One of them that John is working on, and he's calling it Road to Marrakesh, and it goes, "On the road to Marrakesh, I was dreaming more or less." So do you recognize that melody? And then the chorus is, "I'm just a child of nature," and I don't know what else, but I'm just a child of nature. So that song, I can hear where he was kind of stealing from Paul's Mother Nature's son, and he probably watched a Road to Marrakesh movie, and that stuck with him. So John was a magpie, he was a crow, he gathered all sorts of things, and he and Paul were very competitive too. And that song was like, okay, beautiful melody and everything, but until it became, "I didn't mean to hurt you, I'm sorry that I made you cry." It became Jealous Guy. And he started writing it from his experience, from his authenticity, and then wow, it revealed, it brought breakthrough. The other story is George. He's writing a song, and you hear him talking about like the bridge. I don't know. And he's doing these things about Mr. Show. Did you see you missed the show? He's doing this kind of wordplay. I don't know. I don't know. And you're like, okay, what happened? He made it personal. He wrote about his experience and his love for his wife, and it became something like the most recorded Beatles song ever, that Frank Sinatra said was his favorite Lennon-McCartney song. So close, Frank. So close. So yeah, when you come to your authenticity, when you come to your own stories, and you relate without sugarcoating and without prettying things up, the impact that these had on you, it leads to breakthrough. It leads to breakthrough. And if I follow this down here, we've got cordyceps revival. And so those breakthroughs rejuvenate us, don't they? They revive us. When we've been carrying a burden, or we're in the thick of something and we just don't know how this is going to work out, and we're just going to, we go back to that first reading about being in the doldrums, being in the boredom, being in the discomfort, whatever it is, being in it. And then you have more of a story to tell afterwards when you really are in there experiencing it. And when you do that and you go there, you have the breakthrough, the wisdom breaks through. Oh man, suddenly you understand. And then you have this feeling of kind of waking up, that feeling of enlightenment. Now, let's look at detachment and patience. I'm going to look these up actually. Catching up, that Bosch deck. So, oh, Natalie, I didn't see you, honey. Hi. Try the Bosch deck. Well, you know what? I almost brought the Bosch deck tonight, but I had such a struggle with it in the unboxing that I need to work with it some. Okay. Oh, I missed the whole thing about power napping here. Rest the body when it needs rested. Speaker Vote is one of your news channels. Oh my God. It really makes you realize how much of an impact we have on the rest of the world and how much of a distraction we can be too. Yeah, I mean, they're just a mess. They're just a mess. Yeah, I know, Natalie. Well, there are a couple readers that I follow. Marianne of Revealing Light Tarot and Astrology is my favorite, and she's an Aussie, and she reads on the U.S. That's like what she does, and she has wonderful insights. She's very knowledgeable, and she's a very talented reader. So, just look up Revealing Light on YouTube. And the dances, yes, we'd be here Night in Confusion, Joe. Absolutely. So, talking about the northern and the southern hemisphere, I saw a thing that I would love to do, except where I am in Ohio, where I am in Ohio, if you look for the exact opposite point on the planet, it's out in the middle of the ocean. But if it doesn't go that way for you, you take the coordinates of where you are. So where I am, well, I'll take Akron, is 81 degrees 31 minutes west and 41 degrees 5 minutes north. 81 west 31, 41 north 05. So you would take 81 east 31 and 41 south 05 to get the opposite. And what these people did is took a picture. Each of them put a piece of bread on the ground and took a picture. They made an earth sandwich. That makes me so happy. So here's one thing I want to say. Thank the goddess for technology and the internet, because we are getting to see creativity on a level that we have never ever been able to see before. The only people before that had access were the ones that were patronized, the ones that succeeded, the ones that got the contracts, the whatever that got purchased, paid somehow. But with TikTok, with Facebook, with everything, we are just seeing rampant creativity. People that have something just itching and they just have to do it. We sat and watched a thing, I can't remember what the name of the channel was, but it was marbles. There was a marble Olympics, and it was really fun. The events were just creative as hell, and this guy was doing it straight up like a sportscaster. It was hilarious. And then we watched them do all these marble flows with one of them was 10,000 marbles. Amazing stuff. So creativity, that's, thank you, technology, for giving us a window, a very personal window on this world, and not just on the world, but on the people, a window on our fellow human beings of this world. And if you think you're weird, go through TikTok sometime. Okay. Well, if you watch the video, Atlas, it is, it's a great deck, but it's going to take some working. It's all court cards. It's major arcana, court cards, and aces. Like I said, the deck of my nightmares. Okay. Oh, yeah. I was left confused too, Alice. That's it. It just, I don't quite know how to work with it. I think you were the one, Atlas, that said it was an oracle deck. You know, the gorgeous oracle deck. And yes, it doesn't feel like a tarot deck to me. All right. Yes, Atlas and I have been having a conversation. Parthenon Patreon? Parthenon? I'm not doing classes, dear. No, Patreon is just a, you know, a general support, $3 a month for general support, but I'm not doing classes. The words that are coming up with the oracles. Yeah, it is interesting. Take advantage of being able to hibernate, which gets weird and difficult when it's not cold out. It's very confusing. Lena Rodriguez, Tarot from Down Under. Okay. Thank you, Tavia. I'll look her up. And yes, the Earth Sandwich, Laura. Isn't that incredible? It's amazing. I want to do it so bad, but somebody would have to be out in the middle of the ocean. So somebody, like Natalie, if you can find what your opposite point is, it's probably easier if you start from the southern hemisphere to the north, because it seems like there's more land mass in the north than the south. So you're more likely to hit an ocean if you start from the north. Okay, sunshine. Joe, crush up your potato chips to make them last. Yep, I just bought new popcorn today. And yes, Jessica, isn't Marianne amazing? She really is amazing and insightful. She has really good training in, I think, law. So she's very insightful and good. Frankie's birthday's the end of January. A STEM Lego marble. Rube Goldberg. Oh my God, yes. Hit the YouTube, man. You know, look for Rube Goldberg things that are easy to replicate. You'll find something, I know. I hate the Orange Man Club, yes. His voice is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. He had some big press thing the other day and they didn't even cover it. Finally. Okay. All right. When you were teaching plate tectonics, came up with a thing called plate tectonic palate pleaser. A chunky peanut butter and strawberry jam on all wheat. Oh, that's awesome. It's on top of the sandwich. Push on one side and pull on the other. Oh! Samantha is a teacher, if you didn't guess, you guys. Okay, so let's come back here after that little diversion. So we have wisdom, detachment, and patience. So wisdom can also, you know, we talk about the wisdom coming from being really connected and engaged and present in life. But then afterwards, wisdom can offer you, you know, when you've gone through these experiences, when you go through them again, then you're able to kind of take a step back and go, I know this lesson, and I don't have to go through all of this stuff in order to get here. What happens, I have discovered in my life as I age, is I just have no appetite for drama. I have none. And I've come up with more and more ways to just, I'm not doing that, to avoid that, you know. So here's what I want to tell you. You have my permission. If you need someone's permission, you have my permission to say no to drama. How do you do that? Hey, oh, I'm sorry, I got to go. I got another call coming in. I got to take it. Sorry, got to go. Well, anyway, you know, just change the subject, extricate yourself from the situation, whatever you got to do to disengage from that. So wisdom can allow you to see things a little more objectively, so you don't have to roll around in the mud with somebody that is just going through their first round here and maybe not doing so good. And then we have horsetail, which is patience. So, of course, with wisdom comes patience, and detachment helps there too. So, you know, when you're, okay, let me connect here. Hold on. I'm going to look up cannabis. There it is. Detachment, deep contemplation, freedom from pain, freedom from pain body, inner calm, immunity. Glory, hallelujah on the freedom from pain body here. Reversed is numb, dissociation, neglect, chronic pain, all of these things. So yes, it is about being connected, but being able to detach from the pain, the source of the pain, you know? And I know that when I'm in physical pain, the thing that I need to do is just relax into it. Just relax, again, accept the pain. And I find that once I accept the pain, I do relax, and the pain lessens because I'm not constricting my blood vessels anymore with tension. So, and then, you know, when you are able to do that, to kind of detach, and detach mentally, detach objectively, but still be physically present in your body in the moment, then it's easier to just hang out with what is unfolding. Let me look at Horsetail real quick here. All right, hold on. Horsetail teaches us of the power that lies within patience and the endurance gained through the hidden blessings of challenges. There you go. There's something good in all seeming failures, and although that might not be clear in the moment, time will reveal it. Note that she says seeming failures. Although, okay, trust the process. Remember that stubbornness and willfulness are counterproductive to loosening knots. Ooh! To loosening knots. You have to be very relaxed. If you pull those knots tight with tension, you're never getting them apart. Instead, like the medicine of horse, ground to Earth's energy as you survive and adapt to changes and hardships on the journey. Horse medicine provides us heightened sensitivity and the purity of trust as essential tools to have while we endure challenge and hardship. And the wheel goes around. Patience, kind of the objectivity, detach, patience while we're going through these things, and then, you know, we go through it, the wisdom comes, we have the revival. Look at this little lemniscate that's happening here. All right. Isn't it funny how the kind of the flavor and the vibe of each time we get together is such a different thing. Each time it's a completely different, you know. Tonight's just feels kind of light. All right, what's our last one? Cat's Eye. Oh, we have two more to go. We have Cat's Eye and Crow. Holy crap, you guys. All right, so 2 and 6. Who's up first? Losing track of time, and that is not... Yes, they do have light wispies floating through all the cards, Laura. I know, little fairies, they're beautiful. Drama. Yep. Okay, 5, we've done that. I need 2 or 6, please. That's a 1. I need a 2 or a 6, please. That's a 4. 2 or 6, please. 5. 2 or 6. 4. You little shit. 2 or 6. 5. 2 or 6. 5. Come on, show me snake eyes. It's not really snake eyes. That's a 4. That's a 3. 3. This is fun. 1. 2. Everything but a 2 or a 6. They were fucking with me. They're like, you already picked up the deck. Why do you need us? So. All right. Cat's Eye. Interesting that we did like, no. I was going to say all the oracles and then all the tarot, but that didn't happen, so never mind. Ooh, thank you for the likes, you guys. Thank you so, so much. I love our little gang. You know, I look at some other live streams where there's hundreds of people in the live and the messages are just flying by and you got to have 3 moderators to keep track of it all and everything. And I'm so happy for our intimate little group. I'm so happy to be this level of intimacy on this global frickin' platform. Whoops, they don't want to be shuffled no more. That way, at any rate. All right. Gotta take my slippers off. There's something in one of them. All right. Cats know all about play, don't they? Yes, they do. Let me see. Oh, Mitchell was here earlier. Hi, Wacket. Oop, oop, oop. Everybody that's sticking out. All right, let's do it in the order that they stuck out in. And this one. All right, let's just do. Okay. And then we have that. Oh. It's so funny because I thought when I was. Here we go. When I was pulling the decks out, setting them out, taking them out of the boxes and stuff, I was thinking, you know, did I get all the blocking cards out? Clearly, I did not. So, Death turned upside down. And we have the Knight of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles turned upside down. That's patience. That's being patient because the Knight of Swords goes, you know, rushing in where angels fear to tread. Sword upraised, rah, anger. Anger, impatience, courage, yes, bravado. So we're talking about turning, and bravado is such a cover for insecurity, right? So the Death card, I'm going to turn these over so we can see the images. This is where we are in the Northern Hemisphere. We're in the dead part of the year. So what's coming up in my mind is that in the pagan paradigm, construct, in some philosophies, I guess, the god, and this is really just in basic symbology across the board here, the line is masculine, this is feminine. You know your power button on the computer, how there's a circle and a line? That circle and line stands for off and on. The line stands for on, the circle is off. The line is the masculine, the circle is the feminine. Think about that for a hot second and you'll never have to wonder which one's which anymore. A line or a circle. So, the god is rising and falling. The god rises with the sun at midwinter. He also rises with the grain in the spring, and then he dies in the fall. The line goes up, and then it comes down. And so there are times during the year when he is dead, and, you know, he's dead. The goddess, though, endures all through the year. She is always there. She is always present, Maid Mother Crone, and the wheel turns. So even in the death part of the year, the earth endures. Life is still there, sleeping. Seeds are sleeping. Seeds are dormant. There are actually some fruits, apples, will not germinate unless the seeds freeze. I'm sure there are probably some varieties that, you know, don't have to, but the good old northern varieties, if you want to germinate apple seeds, because I've thrown so many apple cores out back and there's never been an apple tree that grew, and I've wondered why. And then I looked it up on YouTube, and you have to take those seeds and put them in the freezer for several months, and then they will germinate. So this death part of the year is necessary for life to endure. You know, life endures in spite of it, and some life endures because of it. So when we look at death as the final be-all and end-all, we turn that upside down and remember that it is just one side of the wheel. And we do need to engage our patience and our frustration when we're going through these times where things are going dormant, things aren't moving forward. The Eight of Pentacles here talks about, I'm going to turn these so you can see the kitties, because they're so worth seeing. This is the deck that was created by a vet. The artist is a veterinarian, and you can tell this is someone with intimate knowledge of cats and their physiology. So 8 of Pentacles, look at Mommy Cat is teaching the baby how to catch mice. So that is the practice. We've been going, same messages over and over again, talking about practicing so that you can obtain skill. And upside down, you know what? I'm going to see what the book says here. But upside down, it talks about not paying that price. Diligence, knowledge, detail. Ooh, are you working to live or living to work? Are you using your talents to the fullest? Have you found meaningful work that satisfies you? Life is not always about achieving goals. Satisfaction comes from skillful execution of a task or learning something new. Competency. Learning something new. There are no reversed meanings for this deck, so we're just going to turn them, as I've been doing anyway. Then we have the Moon and the Two of Swords. All right, let's just read. The meanings are short and sweet, and they're great. When this card appears in a reading, consider the transitions occurring in your life. If you've been reluctant to face a loss or accept change, this card admonishes that you have no choice but to let go and accept the cyclic nature of things. As Trungpa Rinpoche said, there's no cure for hot and cold. It always kills me when we start going into the winter and there's always these people that are just, they're on Facebook and they're whining and crying and bitching. It's cold and I don't like it. And it's like, okay. Or it snows and they flip out. And there's that great meme that goes around Facebook where if you refuse to take joy in the snow, you will have less joy in your life but the same amount of snow. This card may mean the death of someone close to you, but more often another type of ending is indicated. So we have to accept the endings to clear the way for the new path. All right, Knight of Swords. It's fine to share your opinions and knowledge, but you will make more enemies than friends if you're overbearing. Logic can serve you well, but only when there's balance and consideration of the feelings of others. So we just need to, with the Knight of Swords, pull back the energy a little bit. And with this Death card and the, showing the winter time, yes, this is the pulling back of energies. And what do we do when we pull back into these indoor energies? Well, I make beaded things and learn a new skill. All right, the Moon. The Moon can indicate a period of imaginative thinking. It's necessary to separate truth from illusion. If you find yourself feeling lost and confused, you need to face your fears. Imagination can spark a creative impulse. Don't let fear and confusion stand in the way. Look at the full moon here. So yes, when you face your fears, you can become inspired by them, by what you find there. Did I tell you guys about the fear altar that I did once upon a time? It was at Mother Drum, and of course, and I had this idea in my mind, and I would never know if it was going to work out until I got there. I had this big metal, like double or triple hoop that was for making a wreath. And I had this big piece of stretchy fabric. And I stretched it around this hoop, and I hung it from the ceiling and brought it down and attached it to the table, and it looked like a fucking tornado. And, tornadoes, those were my recurring nightmares as a child. I had the most terrifying tornado dreams. I actually know what it feels like to have the air sucked out of your lungs by a tornado. And as I got older and as I did my therapy and processed my trauma, the dreams got less and less terrifying. The tornadoes got smaller, and then it became that I would be the one helping people to get to shelter and stuff. So the tornado is a big fear symbol for me. Haven't had one in years, but when I have one, I know it's time to watch out. Something's coming. So this altar, the black thing came down, and there was a little opening that you could look into. And so I can't even remember, the working we did, but everybody in turn came up to look into this thing to see what was at the heart of this fear altar and there was a mirror in there. So, you know, you got to come face to face with yourself and your fears. You got to name it, face it, look at it. Mostly what you're fearing is what your own mind is manufacturing. Okay? So, being willing to look and not let it stand in the way. And then we have Two of Swords. When this card appears, know that unresolved issues must be faced eventually. This may not be the right time. You may need to cool off. Graceful retreat and later rapprochement may be the best course, but the issue will not just go away. The Hermit. Okay. Death, the Moon, and the Hermit. Talk about retreat. Hermit indicates a search for deeper meaning. There may be something missing in day-to-day activities. This card may indicate a teacher who can take you on a spiritual journey, or perhaps you're in the role of sharing the wisdom gained through your own experience. There we go. Echoing that last reading. So yes, we're at a pause here. It feels like. And it's because we're in recovery from the holidays. You know, we go through this thing every year and then we have to recover. And the January doldrums, you know, where we're just kind of like, purging the sugar from our systems and everything like that. So it's time to accept the ending of things and just kind of go inside. Go deep inside. I'm not going to go further with those. So many stories coming out that don't really have much to do with the cards, but you know. We have one more because we're at 2 hours, you guys. Holy moly. All right, messages. Let's see. Yep, cat's eye. Yes, it's a cat deck. Of course it fucks with me. Dragon's eye, hawk's eye. Ooh, yeah, I know we're tired of being patient, but we're, let's become bosses at it. You know, NLP says the person with the greatest capacity for change wins. I would say with the person with the greatest capacity for patience. What's patience? It's choosing not to react. It's choosing not to force things, to do something when there's really nothing apparent to do. All right. Just need to hang in a cocoon just a little bit longer. Yep. Well, what do you do now? Plan your garden. What are you going to do in the spring? You know, what would you like to do? Even if you just have little house plants, what do you want to do? You have to get out of bed to walk across the bedroom to fetch your Reese's cups. Look at me patiently waiting for my candy. Oh, God, you're hilarious. Yep, practicing skills maybe you haven't played around with in a while. Absolutely. Reclaim. And once you have reached a level of competency with something, no matter how long you leave it, you get it back faster than you would imagine. Back when my daughter was just 2 or something like that, I got my guitar back. It had been in the shop for a couple of years being rebuilt, my Gibson, and I hadn't played it for years before that. And I got it back, and it's like, now I have to play this guitar. And oh my God, I was horrified in the beginning because I thought I'm never going to be able to play again. I just couldn't do the things I used to be able to do. But I would just wrestle with it for a little while every day, and within 2 weeks, everything came back. Ba-boom. So, cats are giving you the death stare. Yes, feed them kitties. Uh-huh. Oh, kitties. I love my kitties. Oh, Darcy says you've had tornado dreams but liked them. Ooh. Well, I remember having one. I would have these dreams where these tornadoes were like obsidian. They were like solid, and they were a forest of them going by. And then it evolved, and one time I had a dream, and there was like a paddock, and there was this little tornado out in the paddock. So it was corralled. It was small. My brain does great symbology. To do some scrying. Ooh, that sounds like a good idea. You are so welcome. Use your crystal ball. Oh my God. Wow, that would be great. Okay, now, last one. The Crow Tarot. I was talking about crows earlier and shiny things. This one was a gift from Tavia. Thank you, Tavia. Oh, another one that doesn't really want to be shuffled, but I will make it. I'll make it fit. That is a line. Okay, you have 3 male black, 2 females, a tiger, and a calico. Oh, is it a torty calico? We had a torty calico, tortitude. We have all 3 males, Pyewacket, who is the Black Panther. We have Gilbert, who's a tuxedo with a Mickey Mouse nose, and Griffin, also known as Mitchell, Nugget, Cube, Bunny Butt, Moo Moo. He's so sweet. I wish they would come up. All right, Crow Tarot, what is your closing message here? Crows. Crows, crows. You talk about outnumbered. All males in this house except me. My daughter's house, her 2 male housemates and 4 male cats. We're so outnumbered. She and I need to have some girl time. Ooh, okay, here we go. Here we go. Ooh, we've got a reverse. How interesting. 876. 8 of Cups. 7 of Pentacles again. 6 of Pentacles. Did we have 6? No, we didn't. All right. So the 8 of Cups talks about walking away from what no longer serves us. It's about recognizing where our emotional energy is wasted. So when you are dealing with someone toxic and you are constantly being sucked into the drama and you're trying your best to, feel for them and help them, and you're spending good emotional energy worrying about them and caring about them and all this kind of stuff, and you realize that all they're doing is sucking you dry. The image that I always get is the toilet that's continually running. It can never fill up. It's just a drain, drain, drain all the time. So you got to jiggle the handle. You got somebody that's a drain like that, jiggle the frickin' handle and boot them out. Recognize that my emotional energy is a waste here. There is nothing, in fact, that you can do for someone else to deal with whatever they're going through. You cannot do it for them. It's kind of like when I was in labor with my daughter and the midwife told me to go and get in the bathtub, and I'm like, no, I can't go in there by myself. And then I realized, what exactly are these people going to do for you? You're the only one having this baby. And boy, that was an enlightening moment. So recognize what you can do to help someone, but when it's an emotional enmeshment and they're sucking you dry, you have to recognize that your emotional energy is wasted there and reclaim and walk away. Then we have the 7 of Pentacles reversed. So it talks about review. It also talks about exhaustion. 7 of Pentacles sometimes says to me, that you're doing work that is exhausting, and even though it's bearing fruit, is it worth the effort that you're putting in? So this might be, despite the amount of work you're putting in, the result isn't what you expect. So this says literally cut your losses on an emotional and a physical level. Recognize where your emotions and your energies are just misspent. And then you can reclaim those emotional and physical energies in order to do something that does bring you joy. And then we have the 6 of Pentacles here. This is resources that aren't worked for. So when you can reclaim, when you can cut your losses and reclaim the energy that's just been going down a running toilet, then it's like a bonus. Suddenly there's energy for you to work with. Okay, everybody. Wow, I didn't know this deck had reverses turned in it. Ooh, and we have the Hanged Man and the Hermit, both of whom showed up. How many majors have we had tonight? We had Death and the Moon and the Hermit and the Hanged Man. Did we have any others? I don't think we did. So, theme there too about waiting patiently and being in solitude. Wow. And making it fun. Making it fun. Think of Darcy, you talk about patience. I keep thinking of Mr. Rogers. Let's think of something to do while we're waiting, you know? Something to do while you're waiting. Something engaging, something fun. I found a great little game that I have on my phone now that is these puzzles that deal with color gradients. So it'll show it, you know, these beautiful gradients, and then it mixes them all up, and there are some pieces that are pinned, and then you have to arrange the pieces in the right order for the gradient. So wonderful. The color, the right brainness, the solving of puzzles. It's a great little time waster. Okay. So Hanged Man, and look at Ace of Cups in the middle. Let's look at them reversed. I'm going back here so I can see messages. A torty Persian. Oh, see, our Pasha was a torty. She wasn't a Persian, but she was Maine Coon. Her daddy was a Maine Coon, and she had that tortitude. Yep. Oh, with your gift from Olwen. And blessings, Beth. Miss you, lady. Wolf and all my former cat owners keep arguing in my dreams that when my new one, Story Dwelling, manifests a dog or a cat, or maybe both, will show up. And I said, good, but not until then. Yeah, absolutely. Calicos. Pardon me, the male is Nipper. Oh, yes, our late cat Monkey he was saber-tooth. He bites to play. Oh my. Oh, Bengals are amazing. They're naughty. Very naughty. They may send a bonded pair of a cat and a dog. Ooh. Dogs, though. Dogs are like having a toddler that never grows up. You have to take them out. All that stuff. You have to give them baths and shit. I like something more self-maintaining. Yes, making it fun. Go get your candy. Oh, the game with the colors. Yes. Oh, Hue? Okay. I don't know what this one's called. Patiently waiting for Greg to come upstairs. You know, why not? That's valid. That is valid. All right. Hanged Man. Let's look at reverse. The reversed Hanged Man feels as though he's been putting in too much effort compared to the amount of success he's seeing. Hello? Like, that's a direct relationship there. May also point to a person who's lost faith in his or her ideas, ready to give up without doing the necessary spiritual work that would help find a solution. Okay, we're getting redundant here. Let's look at the Hermit. If I can get there. You have retreated not for self-discovery, but instead to escape day-to-day challenges that have left you feeling overwhelmed. Spending too much time alone may lead to feeling isolated or self-absorbed. Ask yourself if you're recharging or retreating. That's excellent. And the Ace of Cups says that your retreat needs to be in order to refill the cup emotionally, in order to refill. So when we have walked away from drama and reclaimed our energy, gotten that bonus of physical energy, then we have to look at what are we doing with it. Are we, what did they say? Recharging or retreating? The goal here is to fill the cup. And then we have the Four of Pentacles reversed. Oh, this is one of those decks where it goes backwards. Okay. It is a fear of poverty that has created the inability to let go and enjoy the financial resources available to you. And the fear of failure that sometimes keeps us from trying. And so I think the wrap up tonight is that we need to reclaim the fun and the joy and the celebration of our talents and our skills. and our competencies, so that, and step away from trying to make them successful. And when we have reclaimed the joy, kind of like John and George making those songs personal, when we've reclaimed the joy, then there will be things that have that magnetism, that have that attraction to other people, that may actually give us, give back to us in a monetary sense, with all these pentacles coming up here. Okay, let's see. A fenced-in backyard. There we go. All righty. Well, you guys, I can't believe we've gone for 2 hours. It seemed to go so fast. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, you guys. I'm gonna, I can't wait to do a more in-depth look at the Wisdom Keepers. I'm very intrigued by this deck. It's, and just because the writing is kind of going in unexpected directions, it doesn't mean that the deck itself doesn't give a good read, so yeah, I look forward to that on Friday. I still have this one, Celtic Book of the Dead, to unbox, so that'll be coming up next week. And I've still got some other ones sitting over here that I need to do, but a couple of them are Lenormands, and I haven't touched a Lenny in a long time, but I just have to do it. I have to do it. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Your energies are always so appreciated, and I love that you engage and have conversations while I'm blathering away here. I hope that you are all enjoying your new year. I hope that you are being safe. I want to tell you there is a new variant of COVID that is busting loose in the northeast of the U.S. right now. Please wear your masks. Please be the smart ones and stop things from spreading, and keep yourselves healthy. Please, please, I want you healthy so that you can enjoy and do the things that you love. So, yep, it was great to have you all here. I'm so thankful to the new ones coming in and engaging in the chat room. That's just amazing to me. And I am going to go take some Tylenol because I have a bit of a headache from these changing pressure systems today. So, until next time, take care of yourselves, stay healthy, do you. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Just be good, have fun. I will see you next week. Thanks for being here. Until then, blessed be.